Guys. Sorry, I was grabbing another coffee. Good morning, you guys. How's everybody doing today? Good morning, Ash. Good morning, Allie. Guys, we're doing a Nuzlocke. I'm so excited about this. Did you bring some for the group? I did. I have a whole carafe here. Here's some hot coffee for everyone. Everyone pass it around. How are you doing, Ash? Let's see if any of these like browser sources work, these overlays work. Thank you, you're so kind. How's everybody doing this morning? Tired? I'm having coffee. I added oat milk and cinnamon and sugar. So it's a little sweeter. Um, Allie, how are you doing today? Good morning. Brown sugar and oat milk to your espressos, period. I really want an espresso machine over, like, I have a Keurig, so, like, guys, I live alone, you know? Oh, oat milk and caramel mocha. That sounds good. Um, Hi, Vox. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. How you doing, Vox? I need another TBH until tomorrow. Oh, I drink like 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day. Not espresso, but definitely a cup of coffee. Vox, how are you doing? Thank you for your check-in, everyone. Sorry, I'm still like getting comfortable. No, for real. No, literally. I kind of like that in Sims, Mauricio has a caffeine addiction, and he gets irritated when he doesn't have coffee. It's really funny to me. Um, Shift tab. People who don't drink coffee aren't constantly fiending for it baffle me. Yeah, but they're just not they're not they're not infected with the bug. You know what I mean? They have uh they have that immunity. Fan of Nespresso. Fan of Nespresso, instant espresso because I ain't got time for. Yeah, I like instant coffee too. I want to get a little hand frother. Now that I know how to make like blended drinks a bit better. I know the same people that bump. Yeah, Ashley, the same people who have $1 million. Dying for a venti? No, literally. Did you try decaf at all, or was it more like a caffeine situation? Hi guys. Oh my god. Guys, I'm so excited for this gameplay. You were like, get coffee now. We are gonna be nuzlocking today. I think we should just get started. Um, we're playing a modded ROM hack of Pokemon Emerald. So it'll be in the style of some older games, but tons of Pokemon updates, and we have PokeLink set up. So we'll see if this automatically uploads. Um, Automatically updates everything. It's supposed to update all of our Pokemon and our encounters and stuff, so we'll see. Um, High blood pressure with both pregnancies, so I would just do decaf. Oh, okay, okay. Oh no. So wait, my cousin, when she was pregnant with my niece, she was having like such blood pressure issues that they needed to induce her labor. I don't wanna come down. Keep spinning around. All right, let's get started. Oh, excuse me. That's because I made it bigger on my monitor. There you go. Dímelo. It's really loud. Hold on. How do I change the music? Oh. Oh my god, that's way better. Hold on, let's make it super low. Oh my god. It was blaring through my ears. There you go. I'm so excited to play this. Okay. Oh wait, let's do, hold on. Logging? Is it logging? Um, I hope I can find these later, like my save files. I haven't figured out where they save yet, but we'll see. Okay. So cute. Let's get started. I'm so excited. All right, new game. This is what we call Pokemon. Oh my god, it's like the exact same game. Yeah, with Nola, I had to be induced. Oh, but I made it to 39 weeks. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, I guess I'm stuck with him. I like to choose the female character. How come I can't move this? Hold on. Did it ruin my... And then I want this to be... Oh, no, this is X. And then we'll do Q, E, uh, B, F. Sure. Apply. Okay, that's better. Let's go J. Um, let's do Hustine. That should be our new... Actually, let's do back. Hold on, let's go back. I like lowercase. Ooh. Register name as Justine? Yes. That's it. That's my name. Your registration is complete. You're Justine, moving to Birch's hometown of Little Root. Alright, are you ready? Let's go. In his lab. Ah, we're starting. Justine, we're here, honey. We're here, honey. Must be tiring riding with our things. This is Little Root Town. How do you like it? This is our new home. It has a quaint feel, but it seems to be an easy place to live, don't you think? And you get your own room, Justine. Let's go inside. Let's go inside, guys. See, Justine, isn't it nice in here too? The movers Pokemon do all the work and moving us in and cleaning up after. This is so convenient. Justine, go to your room is upstairs. Go check it out, dear. Dad bought you a new clock to mark our move here. Love that. Don't forget to set it. Wow. The clock is stopped. Better set it and start it. What time is it? 10:46. Um, right here. Should be fine. Something like this. Justine, how do you like your new room? Good, everything's put away neatly. They finished moving everything in downstairs too. Pokemon movers are so convenient. Oh, you should make sure that everything's all there by your desk. Okay. Level caps should be enabled. Oh yeah, there's the settings. Okay, yes. Battle Brock owners be enabled. Yes. Hard mode be enabled. Disabled by default. Hard mode increases opposing Pokemon levels by more as you progress and disables the bag in battle. Are we disabling bag? Oh hell nah. Well, I'm trying to make it hard for myself, but this is kind of my first like I think I'm gonna disable the bag. Do it. Fuck it. YOLO. Should KO animations be enabled? Enabled by default. KO animations make Pokemon animate when knocking out an opponent. Yeah. Looks like the rest of the book is empty. Time to go. Looks like it's an empty book for the content. Yeah, we're gonna crash out, guys. I'm so excited. We brought you this report from in front of Petalburg Gym. Oh, it's over. I think Dad was on, but we missed him too bad. Oh yes, one of Dad's friends lives in town. Professor Birch is his name. He lives right next door, so you should go over and introduce yourself. Okay, Mom. Whatever you say. Oh. Oh, hello, and you are? My name is Justine. Oh, you're Justine. Nice. Our new next door neighbor. Hi. We have a daughter about the same age as you. Our daughter was excited about making a new friend. Our daughter is upstairs. Oh my god, what's her name? There's a Pokeball here. Is this a test? It is a test. Huh? Who are you? I'm Hustine. I live next door. Oh, you're Hustine. So your move was today. I'm May. Glad to meet you. I have this dream of becoming friends with Pokemon all over the world. I heard about you, Hustine, from my dad, Professor Birch. I was hoping that you would be nice, Hustine, and that we could be friends. Oh, this is silly, isn't it? I've just met you, Hustine. Oh no, I forgot. I was supposed to help Dad catch some wild Pokemon. Hustine, I'll catch you later. Okay, well, can I pick up the Pokeball? All right. Let's see. This person give me anything. You already have your own Pokemon? No. Ooh, interesting. There's somebody down there. What's this? Pokemon Lab. Professor Birch, the professor's away on fieldwork. Ergo, he isn't here. Let me explain what fieldwork is. It is to study things in the natural environment, like fields and mountains, instead of a laboratory. The professor isn't one for desk work. He's the type of person who would rather go outside and experience things than read about them here. Okay, I think I knew that. I just kind of wanted to see. So all this is like, Ash, do you know Pokemon pretty well at all? Oh, okay. Oh, that's how you do it. F, F. Okay, cool. I know Ali. Ali, wait, do you know Pokemon? Do you know like this era of Pokemon? This like animation style? Okay. Hi. There are scary Pokemon outside. I can hear their cries. I want to go see what's going on, but I don't have any Pokemon. Can you go see what's happening for me? Okay. Help me. Guys, it's starting. Yes, some of it. So yeah, I like that the animation style of this mod is in the like gold and silver, like those older games. Guys, who should we choose? Their animations look so cute. My brother played them. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm obsessed with this art style. When I literally just looked up like best mods to play them. So, um, hmm. Oh, I have the Poke log. Hold on, I have the log for the game here. It's a PDF. Let's see. Hmm. Oh, it doesn't give me everything. It's just encounter information, but nothing about the fight. Hmm. Okay. Well, then that's not helpful. Um. Hi, Taco. Welcome in. Mudkip, Mudkip, Mudkip. Okay, are we choosing Mudkip? Should we play as Mudkip, Taco? Are we gonna name Mudkip? Is Taco about to have another character named after him on stream? Because if I get Mudkip, I have to name it Taco now. You know what I mean? I love that little guy. Guys, we're gonna get a Mudkip named Taco. That's it. It's official. It is official. I'll cry and throw up. Let's do it. I love when people cry and throw up. All right, Mudkip named Taco. You made it easy. Yes. Okay, guys, let's not kill Taco now. Don't let the Mudkip die. I know. Easy claps. First battle done. Phew. I was in the tall grass studying wild Pokemon when I was jumped. You saved me. Oh, hi, you're Justine. This is not the place to chat, so come by my Pokemon lab. So, Justine, I've heard so much about you from your father. I've heard that you don't have your own Pokemon yet. But the way you battled earlier, you pulled it off with such aplomb. That is a crazy word. I guess you have your father's blood in your veins after all. Oh, yes. As thanks for rescuing me, I'd like you to have the Pokemon you used earlier. Oh. While you're at it, why not give a nickname to that Mudkip? Sure. We're naming Mudkip Taco. My kid May is also studying Pokemon while helping me out. Hustine, don't you think it might be a good idea to go see May? Sure. Great. May should be happy too. Get May to teach you what it means to be a trainer. Girl, I'm not. And it walks behind me. Taco is steadily keeping up with you. We're besties. Imagine I die first. No, please. Taco lives. Yes. On brand. No. I feel so seen. You get to walk behind me, little guy. Look at him. Hi, Jam. Look at this. Hi, Jam. This is our first Nuzlocke. I'm doing a solo run before I include anybody else. Let's see. Because it should show my party here. Maybe I should just do it all. Maybe I should do it all like manually. I think because it's we'll have to fix it on PokeLink. We'll have to fix up PokeLink because I have a separate app that's supposed to like track all my stuff. I didn't know you could add people to do a Nuzlocke. Yeah, so you can. There are some Nuzlocks that are like two-player where your Pokemon are connected. So if your Pokemon die, the other person's Pokemon die too. Christina, I'm gonna lurk while I practice returning. Okay, good luck. Good luck with your practice. And you get to walk with them indoors too. Jam, how are you doing today, cutie? Good morning. Welcome in. Jam, we just started our Nuzlocke. We have a little Mudkip. Okay, May's not even here. Like, girl. Good luck, Taco. Yeah, good luck. Wild Pokemon will jump out at you in tall grass. If you want to catch Pokemon, you have to go into tall grass and search. Well, I don't have any Pokeballs yet, so Is it the battle? Oh no. There's a Pokemon Center in Oldale right close by. Not a battle. Any Pokeball there? Good morning, babe. We did it. Hi, I work at a Pokemon. Can I get you to come with me? Sure. This is a Pokemon Mart. Just look for our blue roof. We sell a variety of goods, including Pokeballs for catching Pokemon. Here, I'd like you to have this as a promotional item. Hey, we got a potion. Have a good stream. Oh my god, have fun at your grandma's. Thanks for being here, Allie. Have the best time. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Um, Allie, we'll name the second Pokemon after you, okay? That's it. It's my promise. Even more useful than a Pokemon Center, it's certain situations. Okay, cool. So I'm saving my progress. I kind of live. Oh. When Pokemon battle, they eventually level up and become stronger. Oh. I just like looking around. Pokemon with you become stronger. You'll be able to go further away from here. Okay. Okay. Hold on. BRB. Alright, I'm back. Oh my god, Ryan, cutie, what's up? Welcome in. Good morning. Ow. Fuck. I hit my head. Alright, let's go. Hi, I'm the name rater. I'm the fortune teller of names. I shall be pleased to rate your Pokemon's nickname. Yes. Well, I only have the one. Taco, is it? That is quite a fine name you bestowed. But what say you if I were to suggest a set leap? No. Okay, so the name rater's in this town, which is nice. Hold on. Uh-oh, Pokemon encounter. Zigzagoon. Is it attack? Okay. I need a crit. We're just getting weaker. We're almost level 6. I'm not counting these encounters because I don't have Pokeballs yet. Let's see. The Pokemon found on Route 103 include this soundtrack. Ba-na-na-na-na. Oh, I see my dad gave you a Pokemon as a gift. Since we're here, let's have a quick battle. I'll give you a taste of what being a trainer is like. Okay, so using Trico with Scratch or Pound? I'm just gonna have to use Growl. We're gonna start playing really smart, guys. Yeah, it's Pound and he's faster. Yeah, let's just play it safe. And he's level 6. We'll do it twice. I think we're dead. Oh my god, we win! Guys, that was so close when we have 5 HP! Level 6, level 6. And water gun. Okay, cool. Good job, Taco. Level 7? Ain't no way. Wow, that's great, Hustine. You're pretty good. Let's go. Taco already killing it. I think I know why my dad has an eye out for you now. I mean, you just got that Pokemon, but it already likes you. You might be able to befriend any kind of Pokemon easily. Well, it's time to head back to the lab. Okay. Mudkip's like, please, take me home. Taco's in danger of falling over. Oh my god, wait, no. I gotta heal him. Don't worry, Taco, I got you. We restored your Pokemon to full health. We hope to see you again. Great. I want to go to the mart again. Welcome. How may I serve you? Ooh, a savage roar that makes the foe flee. Okay, roar. Creates a hailstorm. Okay, hail. Raise the power, fire type, sunny day, and rain dance. Okay, that's good to know. Oh, I don't get Pokeballs just yet. And no held items. I need berries. Hustine, over here. Let's hurry home. Okay. Oh, hi, Hustine. I heard you beat May on your first try. That's excellent. May's been helping with my research. May has an extensive history as a trainer already. Here, Hustine, I ordered this for my research, but I think you should have this Pokedex. Yes, a Pokedex. My kid May goes everywhere with it. Whenever my kid catches a rare Pokemon and records its data in the Pokedex, why May looks for me while I'm out doing field work and it shows me. Okay. Oh wow, Hustine, you got a Pokedex too. That's great. Just like me. I've got something for you too. There are Pokeballs. Time to start this Nuzlocke. Let's get this roaster cooking. It's fun if you can get a lot of Pokemon. I'm going to look all over the place because I want different Pokemon. If I find any cute Pokemon, I'll catch them with Pokeballs. Great. Wait, Hustine? Oh, my mom. Did you introduce yourself to Professor Birch? Oh, what an adorable Pokemon. You got it from Professor Birch? How nice. You're your father's child, alright. You look good together with Pokemon. And hey, a Pokedex too? Your father had one of these. Let me see it. I'll install a cool app for you. Dexnav. The Dexnav app came with all these instructions. Press A button while using the Dexnav to creep up on a Pokemon. Just select a Pokemon in the Dexnav, then hold A to sneak up on it, so you don't scare them. To think you have your very own Pokemon now. Your father would be overjoyed, but please be careful. If anything happens, you can come home. Go on, go get them, honey. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Okay, so let's look at this. This is route. I'm going to open this PDF again and see where everything is. I think it's 101. Okay. Control find. Centrit, Hoot Hoot, Poochiena, Zigzagoon, Wurmple. Okay. I'm not ready to catch any Pokemon yet. No, here we go. Let's see. Wurmple. All right. Oh, it's okay. I was gonna go up to there anyway. I'm not counting this. I'm not counting it. I'm not counting it. I wanted to go up here. Hoot Hoot. Flying types won't be good for the next gym, but you know what? Let's just get the Hoot Hoot. I think Noctowl's flying ghost in this. Let's go. All right, this is Allie. This is actually a great Pokemon for Allie. It has an internal organ that senses the Earth's rotation. Using this special organ, a Hoot Hoot begins hooting at precisely the same time every day. Interesting. All right. So that's our first encounter. I'm gonna write these down. Hold on. Let me get my notebook. Got a notebook. Oh shit. My headset. Okay. Okay. Let's go. This music still feels so loud to me. Yeah, there you go. Oh, what was my camera on? Why did it toggle? Oh wait, what route is this? Hold on, let's see. 103. Caterpie, Weedle, Spearow, Hoppip. Ooh, Hoppip would be good. Remoraid is fishing. Oh. The Zigzagoon. I really don't want a Zigzagoon. A Wingull. Okay, I really don't want a Zigzagoon here. Let's see, let's see. Hoppip! Okay, that's not bad. Hoppip is a good one. Oh, this is not cute. Hold on. Let's take Allie out. Peter, welcome in! How are you doing, Peter? Is there a flying type move on Allie? How are you doing, Peter? Yeah, it's just one. We totally can handle this. You're doing okay? Peter, it's so good to see you. Thank you for getting your check-in. Peter, we're gonna name our next Pokemon after you, okay? After this, I think I'm gonna name Hoppip Ash. I'm gonna name Hoppip Ash. Synthesis is crazy. Peter, do you have anything exciting planned for your weekend? Hopefully I'm a good one. I hope so too. I mean, do you know a lot about Pokemon, Peter? Let's try to catch it now. Let's go! A fair bit. So this is, I mean, clearly this is the art style of like the old, like generation 1 and 2 games, but it's actually Pokemon Emeralds with like a ROM hack. Like it's just overlaid a little bit differently. The Pokedex is super expanded in this one. Allie's level 4! And Hypnosis. Okay, that's not bad. Cottonweed Pokemon. This Pokemon drifts and floats with the wind. If it senses the approach of strong winds, a Hoppip links leaves with others to prepare against being blown away. Oh, so sweet. Yep. My Pokemon is staggeringly tired. I should have brought a potion. I think this is all the same route, right? Like, this is 103 up here. Yeah. Okay, so we did our 103. Let's just keep getting a move on, I guess. Let's keep moving on. Let's heal. Alright, 102. Let's see what Pokemon we can find here. Oddish. Bellsprout. Goldeen. Goldeen while fishing? I don't have a fishing rod though. Sunkern. Buchiena. Wurmple. Seedot. Surskit. Lotad. Routes. Surskit. Routes. Azurill. Corefish and fishing. Oh, Corefish. Let's figure out how to use the Dex nav. Oh, it's only the Pokemon that we've seen. It's so tough. Hidden? 3 hidden Pokemon? We're gonna have to battle... Oh. I'm gonna catch a whole bunch of Pokemon. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to catch a Pokemon here. I really want a rare one. Let's battle. Woot woot! Taco, let's go. Hypnosis is insane. Come on, wake up. Wake up, wake up. Wake up! Let's go. Let's go. Hypnosis turn 1 is crazy. Yeah, you should have trained yours more. Because what do you mean? Another battle here. Take you on with my bug time Pokemon. Yeah, at least that was weak. Yeah. Slowed me down. I mean... Oh, I shouldn't have shift on, actually. I'm gonna have to turn that off. Letaba? So sweet. Now we can switch Pokemon. Supersonic. Letaba faster than... Oh, because it's higher leveled. Oh! What is the attack on that Letaba? Taco, I need you. Come on, Taco, please. No! Come on. Let's go. Taco's level 9. And Mud Slap, let's go. Allie's level 5. Learn Peck, please. Nope, no Peck. Guys, I already want a second coffee. We need to go heal. We haven't found a Pokemon there yet. We still have to get that encounter. There are a lot more Pokemon in this area. Another battle here. 2 battles. Let's get our Pokemon. It's a Bellsprout. Okay. Okay. Bellsprout just got a Mega, though. Oh, that was... Let's go, Bellsprout. A Bellsprout's thin and flexible body lets it bend and sway to avoid any attack, however strong it may be. From its mouth, it leaks a fluid that melts even iron. Oh. Alright, Peter. You're a Bellsprout now. I'm just a little guy. Just a little guy. Oh! I forgot to heal. Well, lady, you know, I don't think that part is important. I think we just go for, yeah, whoa. Let's go. Tailo, yes, let's switch. Oh, Allie, please. Double miss. Why? One more time. Oh my god. Ash! Ash! We named a little guy after you. Alright, we got the save switch in. We should have used Growl here, I think. Oh, never mind. I see, so cute. Little Allie. Little Allie, little Ash. Honey, baby, we need to go. We need to heal my Pokemon, because why are we struggling already? A little Hoppip named Ash. I'll see you again. Okay. See you later. We have to battle this dude, huh? I think it's a bug catcher. Oh. And chew. Okay, so it's not a battle. Yes, pick the orange berries because we can give them to our Pokemon. We also have to turn off the shift mode to catch a berries. Love that. I want to put a fun little... There you go. That's, I like the black. Alright, moving on. This is another route? No, it's the same route. Bellsprout was our encounter here. Help you further your career? Excuse me. Yeah, we're gonna have to start going for growls and mud slaps. Hell yeah! Let's go. Let's do another growl. Just because Mudkip is pretty strong, so he's kind of tanking. Yeah, Taco's kind of tanking all this stuff, so we'll get Allie. I forget what Foresight does. I don't know why I chose Foresight. Sorry. Holy, let's go. Let's go, Allie. Let's go, Allie. Taco's level 10. Allie's level 6. We're eating. I wish I had a flying type move. Oh. I think we play this safe. This is literally what happens is that Vine Whip against Ash. Let's do that. It goes for the Vine Whip here because Vine Whip's probably its only like attacking move. We tank it. Oh, you don't have any moves either. Absorb is not going to be helpful here. We need tackle or something. Oh no. Let's just keep absorbing, I guess. Oh, let's go. We just need to get you some experience. We don't even kill here. Alright, let's synthesis for the free health. Yes, thank you for the shout out. Hi Momo, welcome in. Thank you for the check-in. How are you doing, Momito Lindo? How are you? Alright, Ash is all fully healed. Alright. Yes, thank you for all the shouties. I appreciate you, Ryan. I hope practice is going well. And just like that, Ash 8. Sorry, just hopping out of practice. No, GG's. Let's go, Ash. Also, Taco's been killing it. Guys, we're naming our Pokemon after our friends, okay? Who wants to be named after... Who wants our next encounter to be named after them? Okay, Ash is level 5. Oh, I'm so sad about this encounter. There's just so many options. Bellsprout's not terrible, but we already had a grass type Pokemon. Depends on the Pokemon. Oh. So you just don't want to be named after random Pokemon. Got it. That is crazy. This could have been Peter. This could have been Peter. But we got Bellsprout instead. Guys, are we willing to bend the rules just this once? Do we want Peter to be a Ralph instead? I cry. Look, Peter. Peter. Can we all agree on stream? Can we bend the rules this one time? Do anything for Peter. Peter, anything for you. You know what? I like the way you think, Momo. I only have 2 Pokeballs left, so if I catch it, then yes. If not, then no. You know what I mean? And it's the only time I'm going to do this. Every other time, I just have to be okay with the encounter. It's just too good of an encounter. Look at that. And now we have a new Peter. Peter 2.0 is what I'm going to name it. And then we're just going to pretend Bellsprout doesn't exist. Is that okay with everyone? I just want Peter to have the best Pokemon experience. A Ralts has the power to sense the emotions of people and Pokemon with the horns on its head. It takes cover if it senses any hostility. Yes. Oh, how about we name this Real Peter? It's F? No, it's V. Real. How do I put space? Real Peter. Nope. There you go. There you go. Real Peter. Real Peter. I appreciate you asking, but you better do what you want. You know, that's so real, Ash, but I really want to challenge myself, and if it was really up to me, I would only catch the best Pokemon, you know what I mean? Alright, we made it to the next town. No casualties. We're gonna heal. I'm gonna run to the bathroom, make a coffee. Momo, how have you been? I'm so happy to see you on this weekend. Alright, how about this? Well, when we find our next encounter, we will see if anybody wants to volunteer. Bye-bye, Peter. Real Peter. I love that. Okay. So actually, let's look at our little team right now. Mudkip, Hoot Hoot, Ash, little Hoppip, and Routes. I'm actually really obsessed with this team. We need to buy more Pokeballs. Let's talk to all these people. Maybe I'll get a... Taco let out a roar. Hello there, trainer. You got a wonderful smile. I have a hobby collecting the profiles of Pokemon trainers, so how about it? May I see your profile? Sure. I am a Pokemon friend. Sure. Oh, you're not into it right now? Anytime is good by me. Oh. Great. Great. That PC-based Pokemon storage system, whoever made it must be some kind of scientific wizard. Okay. Oh, maybe I should turn this light on. Okay. Can I get a fishing rod? Hello? Why won't... Oh, Let's say you have 6 Pokemon. If you catch another one, it is automatically sent to the storage box. Great. Norman became our town's new gym leader. I think he called his family over for somewhere far away. Yeah, that's me. I battled Norman once, but phew, he was way too strong. How would I put it? I just got the feeling that he lives with Pokemon. Just like me. Excuse me. Oh, a wishing well. How may I serve you? I want to buy Pokeballs. Let's buy 17 Pokeballs. Oh, there's Repel I could have bought. Oops. I should have bought Repel. Repel would help me with my encounters. Oh, it's the same. Let's sell some stuff. Let's sell a potion. Oh. Yeah, let's sell a potion. Oh, it's only 50 bucks. Fuck it. YOLO. We'll just have to do, but we'll know for next time to get our repels up. Yeah, see, when you're in a hurry. Not him giving me a repel advice. I have Pecha Berries. Alright, we have tons of Pokeballs now. My face is reflected in the water. It's a shining grin full of hope. Or it could be the look of someone's somber silence struggling with fear. What do you see reflected in your face? Some pixels. Traveling is wonderful. When I was young, I roamed the seas and the mountains. Great. I wish I could go on an adventure with some Pokemon, crawl through some damp grass, climb rocky, rugged mountains, cross the raging seas, wander about in dark caves, and sometimes even get a little homesick. It must be fabulous to travel. It is. Oh, what's this? Nico. Whoa, a customer! I knew you were right, Pedro. I'm never wrong, am I? Hee hee, never ever. Trainer, welcome to the Happy Trainer merchant stand. We sell goods to trainers based on their gym badges. More badges means more stuff for you, and more work for us. I sell items that change Pokemon stats. Oh. What's good, trainer? How can we help you? Nothing, because I don't have any money. Hiya, are you maybe a rookie trainer? Do you know what Pokemon trainers do when they reach a new town? They first check... Oh, so I have to go see my dad. See, this is Petalburg City's gym. This is the gym sign. Look for it whenever you're looking for a gym. All right, you know what? This sounds like a... Oh, I walked in. This feels like a good time to go to the bathroom. BRB. Hold on, guys. It'll be a little bit till my coffee's done. Once my coffee's done, though, it's alright. Okay, coffee is done. Now I'm gonna go run to the bathroom. I'm sorry, guys. I'll be right back. Coffee. I'm all set. I lied. Hold on. Okay. Okay. And now I'm back. Sorry about that. We're all back. We're all back. Oh, where's my audio? There you go. Hi, Star. Welcome in.
It's me, Jessica. No, I'm a star. Please, I'm a star.
Welcome in, Star. We started our Nuzlocke today. I'd like to get a Pokemon, please. You're you're Wally, right? I'm gonna stay with my relatives in Verdant Town. I thought I would be lonely by myself, but I've never caught a Pokemon before. I don't know how. Christine, you heard that right. Go with Wally and make sure that he safely catches a Pokemon. Wally, here. I'll loan you my Pokemon. Oh wow, a Pokemon. Hi Justin, how are you? How's that going? Well, we just started, no death. We're naming Pokemon after our friends. Hold on. I did already bend the rules because we found a better encounter, but we're never gonna do that again. We named our Mudkip Taco. We have a Hoot Hoot named Allie, a Hoppip named Ash, and a Routes named Peter. And oh yeah, we did it for Peter, to be honest. Like Peter had a flop encounter. Now I can say it now that the encounter's over. But then we found a Ralph, and I had to name it after Peter. Like, there was just no way I wasn't going to. You know what I mean? So, when am I getting a Pokemon? Oh, you could be the next Pokemon. Basically, you kind of have to call dibs. Allie was here when we first started. We're playing a mod hack, a ROM hack of Pokemon Emerald, which is like in the style of like the Gen 1 and 2 games. Ronathan! Oh my god, hi Ronathan, how are you? He's gonna go catch his routes on the first try, which is kind of crazy. So, did it work out? I just skipped through all of that. Oh. There you go. I was like, how did I do that? Here's my advice. Head for Rustboro City beyond this town. There you should get a challenge Gym Leader Roxanne. After her, go on to other Pokemon gyms and defeat their leaders. Collect badges from them, understood? Of course, I'm a gym leader too. We'll battle one day, Justine. But that's only after you become stronger. Great. We're gonna name Pokemon after all of y'all. So we have an encounter here. I just need a fishing rod. I don't know where to find the fishing rod. A rookie. Oh, yeah. So this is the guy that stops you. Now I can pass him. Let's go to Wally's house. Heading to a pool party. Oh my god, a pool party. You must be Justine. Thanks for playing with Wally. He's been frail and sickly. We've sent him to stay with my relatives in Verdant Town for a while. The air is a lot cleaner there than it is here. What's that? Where's Wally? He's already left, our Wally. I wonder where he could have gone by now. Oh. Wally was really happy when he told us that he caught a Pokemon. It's been ages since I've seen him smile like that. Period. Alright, let's go fishing. Let's see if we can find a fishing rod. I don't know where to find the fishing rod. Oh! Who's that? Excuse me. Let me guess. From the way you're dressed, are you a Pokemon trainer? Yeah. Who's asking? Star, how are you doing this weekend or so far? Like, how's your Saturday morning been? What are you up to today? Ronathan's going to a pool party. And we're gonna name Pokemon after. Okay, so Here's the list of people we're gonna name Pokemon after. We're gonna name a Pokemon Ronathan. It'll be your alter ego. We'll do Star. Do you want it to be Star or Stargazer 5000? Leave your suggestion in the comments. Momo, Rosam, and we'll do Mark, but I like Mark's usernames. So this will stream later, but I'm debating since stepped terribly last night. Star, you have to get a... I like Star. Okay, cool. So we have a few people here we're gonna name Pokemon after. I think I'm just gonna go by vibe. You know what I mean? Star, you slept terribly. Why? Do you typically struggle with sleep? Like, do you not sleep through the night, or is it like hot, or you know what made it restless? Your clothes aren't all that dirty. You're either a rookie trainer or maybe you're just an ordinary kid. I'm roaming the land in search of talented trainers. Folks like you could use a helping hand from time to time, right? Take this. I'll be on my way. Oh, okay. So he just gives it straight up the experience share. Maybe I can look it up. Control find rod. No. Oh, the cheat codes and mystery. Okay, well, let's do a cheat codes I can actually use. 99 rare candies, master balls, level 5 spiel with optimized defensive stats, has the moves Bouncy Bubble, Super Fang, Slack Off, and Freeze Dry. Fun alternative starter. Oh, Apom. Should we get the probably very overpowered alternate starter? But hey, I'm the developer. I get to play favorites. Wait, should we get these two? Victory Dance is crazy because that is Victini's special. It's girls, yeah, take care of you. Stream can wait. Yeah, Ronathan, you're so real for that. Cause you were in here the other day saying like, you're my excuse not to stream, and I'm like, look, I get it. How's tired yet? Stop me a hard time falling asleep. Oh no, Star. Yes, if you and no pressure to stream. Like, if your capacity is, hey, I'm chatting today, then you're chatting today. You know. Nuggets, Tinkatink hold a nugget, Applin holding. Should we just get all these Pokemon? Gives the Kanto starters all at level 5. Gives Johto starters level 5 Hoenn starters. Like, are we gonna do that? Just to have them? Maybe we should. Why not? I mean, it's in the game. It's a mod. Let's do that. And then it'll help us with our encounters later. If we have all the starters. Then we don't have to do a dupe. Here we go. I just feel bad for not streaming just because I don't stream much. Yeah, maybe I'll do a short stream. Yeah, and even if you don't want to play a game, maybe it's just like, hey, not feeling the best. Short stream, just chatting. You know, just hanging out with friends. Sunkern! Oh, I don't want to speed up too much, actually. Ooh, almost a one-hit KO. Mimic with the raid! Hi, Mimic! Welcome in! Hey, we're adding Mimic to the Pokemon list, guys. Mimic? How are you doing, Mimic? What's up, friend? How are you? Thank you for the raid, my friend. How was your stream? What were you playing? It must have been a short stream, so I don't remember even seeing you live. Here we go. Uh-oh. Over and over and over and over. Over and over and over and over. Okami. Wait, tell me about that game. We're naming Pokemon after our friends, so... And we have experience share now, so that should be fun. Let's go get all these mystery gifts, I think. We're playing a ROM hack of Pokemon Emerald. Mimic, how familiar are you with Pokemon? I'm off having a major stream. Ronathan, thank you so much for getting your check-in, being here for as long as you could. I appreciate you coming to hang out for a little bit. Have fun at the pool. Very familiar. Okay, Mimic. Well, this is Pokemon Emerald. This is a ROM hack in the style of the Gen 2 games. And I'm really appreciating it so far. We have a great team. Here, let's show you the team so far. We have a Mudkip, a Hoot Hoot, a Hoppip, a Ralph. And we're naming Pokemon, like our teammates, after our friends. We're gonna get all these free gift Pokemon to reduce the Pokemon pool in the overworld. And hopefully that'll help us. Cheat device. Yes. Alright, there are a few codes that give free Pokemon. So let's just do I love Spheal. Get a Spheal. I love oops. How is it spelled? Is it L-U? No. Oh, no E in love. Yeah. I keep pressing the wrong buttons. I love Spheal. Code was valid. Yay, I got a Spheal. Alright. Who wants to be Spheal? Huh? Who wants to be Spheal? It's a defensive Spheal. Tito, welcome in. Tito, get your check-in. Wait, we have to add Tito to this list. Maybe we'll just name it Fuck with an X. Guys, who wants to be Spheal? Mimic, do you want to be Spheal? I can be. Yes. Okay, star. Cute little Spheal. It's V. We're doing all lowercase names, low key. I wish I could just type it in. Maybe I'll have to plug in my controller. Such a cutie. Okay. We're gonna get I love Apom now. Oh, this one actually has the E. Oops. Plus size baddie like myself. Well, it feels just that girl. Thickums, if you will. You know, thick in all the right places. Thank you for your check-in, Mimic. Tito, get your check-in if you can. Yeah, Mimic, let's get that check-in up. Alright, who wants to be Apom? Mimic, do you want... Look, now we have... Okay, wait. Let's do Giftmon. Starters. Spheal. Apom. Applin. A Tinkata. Tink. I do, yes. Alright, Mimic. Mimic's a little monkey. Monkey. Look at that. Look at that. We have a whole team. The Pokemon community thing set up. Applin is an option? Yes, Applin is an option. Wait, would you rather be Applin? We can always change it. The name raider is literally an Oldale town. So we can just change the names. You can also have 2 Pokemon. I'm not gonna hold you back. You know what I mean? The Pokemon community thing set up, like the catching thing in chat. I feel like sometimes it gets so busy. What I want is that overlay, that animated like Pixelmon overlay, where all the Pokemon kind of sit at the bottom of the screen. I also need to look into like an overlay proper for the Nuzlocke. If Gengar is here, I claim it. Oh. I really was looking for a Ghastly. Let's see if I can find Ghastly here. Ghastly. Granite Cave and Mount Pyre. So, once we get to Granite Cave, it's a wrap. We'll get you a Ghastly. Haunter 2? No. You're gonna be the Gengar. You know what I mean? That's so cute. Yeah. I really want those Pokemon at the bottom. I feel like the Pokemon catch in chat can be confusing and clutters the chat. Like I already struggle reading chat. Like I don't need something else. Oh, I have the Pokélink overlay for my Nuzlocke. Wait, so I have Pokélink set up too, and I honestly was struggling with the setup because I thought I was gonna have an overlay, but like it's not working, I don't think. Yeah, like it's not really tracking anything of mine. So we're gonna have to play with that a little off stream. Let's keep getting these Giftmon. I love Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Apple, Tinka. I love Kanto, I love Johto, I love Hoenn. Yes. I think it's this Kanto. No, it's E. Are you going to name a Pokemon after yourself? Well, the main character is... Oh. Did it work? I just kind of clicked through that. Oops. Love. I can't tell if it works. It's not even saying the code is valid. Let's just do them. Why not? It's not even saying that the code is valid. Let's see. I love Tinka. I love Apple. I love Tinka. I love Apple. I love Tinka. That one worked. See, that one gave me a response. Not the cows. Should I name a Pokemon after me? I love apple. I love apple. Love it. Love apple. I think it's LOV. Oh. Look at that. Okay. I think... Oh, I wanted to get the candies, the rare candies. 9 rare candy. Nine. Rare. Oops. Candy. Oops. You should just... It could be Justin Jr. Wait, you're so real for that. Maybe I'll just make that the Cyndaquil, because we just got a Cyndaquil. The other one's a Master Ball. I don't really need Master Balls. Now we can set up a full team. Once we get to the Pokemon Center. Myself, oh yeah. That's such a good idea, Star. Here, let's Oh, they're all here. Look at them. Okay. Honestly, oh, not Mimi. Eviolite. I think this is a pretty good team for now. I mean, why not? I want to name... Cyndaquil can be Justin Jr. I think Mimic, did you want to be Applin instead of... We have a second Mudkip. Love that for us. Is it like... Oh, they're just random. Oh, we got Rain Dish. Oh my gosh, we just got the hidden ability. Hidden ability. Hidden ability. Hidden ability. We have so many hidden abilities. The Tinkatink is so cute. Mimic's like, yes. Okay, so Mimic wants to be Applin. Let's name them all. I'm gonna name all the Pokemon right now. Cause why not? And we'll put the original party in here. Oh, I cannot believe I got a hidden ability on these guys. I need to change my controls because this does not feel natural to me. Okay, wait. Let's figure out the best names for everybody. We'll just name Apom Mimi. You know, Mimi and Mimic. So this is our team of 6. I don't mind this team. I actually really like this team going into like our battles. We don't really need to switch out right now. I don't really know who else to name. The Tinkaton line is one of my favorites from Scarlet Violet. It's just such an iconic Pokemon, you know? I don't really know who else to name. Well, at least we have options for our friends now. Star is a Spheal. We can cross that off. And Mimic. We'll name these two guys. I think for next time, I'm gonna just plug in my controller. It's so iconic how it throws the timer. Yeah, it's so funny. Like, I love when Pokemon have, like, extend... Look at the Cyndaquil! Wait, do we just keep Cyndaquil on our party? Auto run enabled? Hell yeah. Sounds good to me. Let's name Cyndaquil Hustine Jr. And it's a girl! Guys, if you don't know, it's super rare to get girl starters. Wow, it all fits. Hustine Jr. It is a better nickname than before. And then we'll make this one Mimic. Yeah, we love the Tinkaton, Tinkatink line. I think they're incredible Pokemon too, like incredibly strong. Ooh, excuse me. Mimic. Yeah, let's go. Oh no. Alright, bye. Alright, let's swap our Pokemon around. Ugh, I wish we had space for Cyndaquil on the team. We'll put all the Pokemon that need names down here. Oh, see, we have two water types, but it's okay because the first gym is a is a rock type gym. So I think it's gonna be okay. I'm now a little grass dragon worm in an apple. Yes, I love that. Envy, welcome in. Envy, oh my god, let's add you to the list. We're naming Pokemon after Envy. Do you want to be a starter? Do you want to be named after any of our Pokemon here? Or we can name you after after a catcher. We're playing a ROM hack of Pokemon Emeralds. Do you want to be a starter Pokemon? Do you want any of these? Do you want to be named after any of these Pokemon? Or we can wait until we find the right match. You know what I mean? These two have names already. Honestly, Applin. Okay, so Mimic. I was in. My friends and I do like a draft league, and we did like gym leaders. So I was Dragon. Like I pulled Dragon as the typing. And Appleton on my team was just on a. I just had him recycle berries and tank hits together still. Yeah, because they'll like Walrein will be a good defense for Swampert for sure. Let me know, NB, if you want to be on any of these Pokemon so far. Let's just move on to the next town. America's Sweetheart. Ooh, Azurill, so cute. Alright. Honestly, we can have our other Pokemon be... Oh, wait, maybe I should put this up here instead. Yeah, maybe it lives better there. So you guys can see the health bars. Envy, make sure you get your check-in. I'm definitely a water type. My favorite is Lapras, but I'm down for whoever. Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind if we find a Lap. Let's see if Lapras is available on the ROM. Let's see where we can find Lapras. Lapras, Surfing, and Pasiphalas Super Safari. Okay, cool. So Surfing, 132. So later in game, but I'll remember that. I'll like go for it. You know what I mean? Forgive me, Justin. Also, I'm kind of embarrassed because, like, why haven't I been doing this already? No, it's okay. No, it's okay. Don't be embarrassed, Envy. Thank you for the follow.
Why are you
How are you
following me?
doing? Hi, Joey. Is this build? It is. It is build. I'm just cranking 90s, Joey. How have you been, Joey? We have to add Joey. Kuya. Joey. Joey, do you want to be named after a Pokemon that I have? I have all the starters so far. And a Tinkaton. I know you know your Pokemon now. I'm good. How you? I'm good, dude. I've been loving your Instagram story update. Ooh, yeah. Do you want to be here? Here are the Pokemon that need names. A bunch of starters need names. All these starters. And Tink. Yay, first check-in. Yes, Envy, welcome in. I'm so happy you got your check-in. Yeah, we're doing our Nuzlocke. We're finally getting in. Give me Bulby, period. Okay, let's get you Bulbasaur. I'm just gonna switch for now. We're gonna name Bulbasaur Kuya. I like the garlic on his back. Yeah, literally. Joey, how have you been? How's your summer going? I mean, I feel like you've had quite the summer already, you know? Oh, wrong house. Let's name it Kuya. Oh, whoops. I hit the wrong button. Also, Venusaur definitely gives Kuya vibes, huh? Kuyasaur! Oh! Wait! No! I can change it again. That's a better name. Hello. A slightly better name. Kuyasaur. Excellent choice. Yeah. Joey, get it. Get your check-in. Start your streak. Start your check-in counter. Let's put Kuya in the Pokedex and the Pokemon. The PC, the Pokemon's someone's PC. Someone's Pokemon Center. Can we get a check on what PC stands for? Look at that. Oh. I never put, Oh wait, I did put Hoppip right. I did put Hoppip back. It's fine. Let's go. Let's get the hell out of here. Yes, Joey, get your check-in. Envy, it's okay. You're here now, and that's all that matters. What's everybody doing this weekend? Envy, Kuya, what are you guys up to this weekend? Alright, we're gonna just brush past this. I don't know where to find the fishing rods, but can we battle? Nope. There's not a battle. Let's put somebody else in the front. We need Peter to get some experience. Alright, Peter, no dying, okay? I think that's a battle down there. I think this is another encounter, actually. Right? 104? Let's see who's here in 104. 104, Meryl. Yanma, Tailo. Tailo would be a good... Okay, so just 3. It's just 3 Pokemon. Oh no, Pidgey, Meowth, Psyduck, Poliwag, Krabby. Quite a few people. Poliwag and Krabby are fishing Pokemon. There's another encounter. Whoever got first, may your pillow be hot on both sides tonight. I think it was Ash? Allie. Allie got first. It's okay. Envy, it'll be you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're playing DBD. Por la noche. I think so. According to Discord. Yes. And then we might be streaming on Monday again with the Quarry. But tomorrow will definitely be DBD games. That's Eastside College is where Mr. Briney lives. He was once a mighty sailor who never failed your sea. Okay. The sea, huh? I wonder what it's like at the bottom of the sea. Oh my god. I fished up a tough-looking Pokemon. It has this magical quality to it. It surely looks tough. Yes, it does. DBD games? Yes, Star. Tomorrow we'll be playing DBD. Yeah. I'll be doing solo queues until friends want to hop in. Like, we'll just rotate friends in and out, you know? Alright, Peter. Now's your chance. Against the level 10 Magikarp. Gah! Come on, Peter. Do it. That means I get to play with you again. Yes, Envy, you should play. Perhaps a girl may be interested. Okay, wait. Tomorrow I'm streaming at 8 p.m. Central. If that's not too late for anybody, like, hit me up on Discord. Let me know. We can run a Swift. Like, I have no problem with that. Peter, you got this. Hell yeah, Peter. Level 10 Magikarp ain't got shit on you. Allie's level 7. Get Peck. Yes. Yes. We're gonna get rid of... Okay, negates the foe's efforts to heighten its evasiveness. Ah, that's good. Wait, I like that. I think we're just gonna get rid of tackle. Yeah. 9 p.m. Now, for me, for a little bit? Yes, I would love that. CST, the best time zone. Envy, where are you from? Peter. Peter, you 8. Ash, level 7. Mimi is level 6. Everyone's getting higher level. Look at that. Mudkip, I think, has hit the level cap. Taco is at the level cap, which is, I think, 10. It must be. Yeah, Taco's at the level cap, I believe. Oh my god, wait! Envy, did I know this? Have we talked about this before? We're neighbors, friend. The power of friendship. I know, you're eating. Okay, Peter, you got this. Only level 6. Let's do Growl, lower attack. Reduce that. Gotta practice for the, like, important battles, you know? Wow, it still took away 3. Confused. We're gonna go for another Growl here. We're within death range, so I'm just gonna move on. Let's use Mimi. Specifically the Windy City. Oh my god, wait! I'm in Cream City! I'm always over there, too. Like... Just dead. Good job, Mimi. You 8. Peter's level 6! Double team. Would love to see it. C-Dot stole my Eviolite? Excuse me? Is it pickpocket? Ash, do you want to learn Tackle? Tail Whip is foe's defense? Yeah, let's learn it for Splash. Envy, we're so close to one another. I would love to meet you one day, Envy. I got sand in my runners. They're all gritty. Yeah, why are you running on the beach with shoes on? Oh no, I'm not a trainer. But that's right. If trainers lock eyes, it's challenge to battle. If you don't want to battle, stay out of their sight. Okay. Alright, let's heal everybody. Oh, more berries. Oran berries. Oh, we should actually give these oran berries to Pokemon. And Pecha. Yeah. Oh, there's 3. Yeah, let's plant a berry. Let's plant orange berries. Here we go. It's usually Envy and... Do you know Elephant Paradox by chance? Him and I are usually together since we live like 7 minutes from... No way! It's usually Envy and L. You'll see us playing DVD and other games all the time with everyone. No way! I've never met Elephant. No, not at all. I would love to meet them. But I love that. Like, I love that Twitch, like, you just meet so many cool people on Twitch. Okay, how much is it gonna take away? 7? Peter. We're in trouble, girl. Let's go with Mimi. Mimi's super strong for no reason. Eviolite Technician. Dizzy Punch. Everyone's eating. Envy, who do you typically play as? What move? Astonish? Oh, wait, Astonish is pretty good here. I would love a flinch here. But these moves, maybe Dizzy Punch? I hope it's easy to learn moves again. In DVD, yeah. Who do you play as in DVD? Are you a survivor main, a killer main? Who do you typically play as? $1,400. Damn. Everybody just giving us money. Wait, we still have an encounter here. Come on, Talo. This is for the Talo. Poliwag. Not terrible. 104. Hold on, I'm writing everything down because I have to set up my PokeLink a little better, it seems. And we have a whole other Mudkip. I find that funny. This is Kuya, KJ. And then this is me. I just wrote all the gift Pokemon down. Survivors, everyone. I have them all P611. Can't focus on one to get P100. As far as killers, Sadako, Trickster. Ooh, Tiffany currently dabbling in Hellmaster too. Ooh, okay. I see you. Water sport. And let's catch. I was really hoping for Talo here. Let's go! Poliwag was caught! Oh, Taco actually did grow to 11, so maybe we didn't hit the level cap yet. What should we name Poliwag? Elephant! Oh my god, I just met you! I just learned about who you are! Hey, that's you! Hey! Welcome in, welcome in! How are you doing? It's so good to meet you! Guys, what should we name Poliwag? We can do little guy. Just a little guy. I'm doing good. How's Emerald going? Emerald's going good. I'm really enjoying like the art style here. Okay, Poliwag, little guys in our box. Let's go heal Pokemon because there's about to be a whole like side quest that's about to happen. With the antagonist of the story. Can I get on this bridge? It's so good to meet you. How are you doing, Elephant? What's your favorite Pokemon? We're gonna totally name a Pokemon after you too. You know what I mean? Thank you for waiting. Na, 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 na. Let's try to get through Petalburg Woods, and then maybe we can end stream there. We also have an encounter here. You always check where you're walking. How about right here? I found a potion! Yay! Oh, let's same. Let's switch with Allie. And let's let Allie just dominate the Petalburg Woods. We have one encounter here. A Black King would kind of eat. Let's see. Petalburg Woods. Letaba. Spinarak. Pichu. Wurmple. Silcoon. Cascoon. Shroomish. Slackoth. And there's one more. Corfish. Caterpie. His favorite is Togepi. Basura! Wait. You're saying Togepi is Basura, but Togekiss is right there. We love Togekiss. But what about Togekiss? I had on my laptop I had a ROM of Pokemon Crystal, and like Togepi was Togetic was always on my party. Not too much on my girl Togepi. We're just gonna let Allie dominate this battle. I'm gonna get poisoned just for the culture. I knew it! I knew it. Wurmple. Just one-shotting all these Pokemon on that team. Togekiss is always in my party. No, we love Togekiss. Honestly, Togekiss, Lapras, that you guys have some iconic choices as your favorites. Whenever the game lets me, yeah. No, I'm the same way. Let's get our berry on. No, bruh. Oh, there's a Pokeball there. Let's see what is. Alright, this is our encounter. Spinnerack. It's gonna one-shot if I peck, so maybe I should just fight Hypnosis. Oh, it has Insomnia. Love to see it. Love to see it. I'm poisoned. I knew it! Oh my god, this is not good. We have to swap. Jessica.
No, I'm a star! Please, I'm a star!
Yeah, we have some great sound alerts in here.
Oh, honey, I was in tears almost. And they had the
Here's the thing, I'm realizing Emerald's one game I never played. Emerald is such a good game. Like, so much nostalgia attached to it. I think we're just gonna go for... Guys, it's the keys. Like, I think I just need to play with my controller. Let's just go for the capture. Let's see. Why refrigerator? Yes, exactly. Let's go put your shoes on and go find you a home. So funny. Yes, Star, let's go. Encore. No, you honestly have iconic moves already, Star.
Oop.
Thank you for the follow, Elephant. What should we name? Who should we name? What should we name Spinnerack? Yes, and your check-in. Oh, we didn't name him because I'm an idiot. Name him. Name him. Name him. Name him. It's because I have the A. Wait, you know what it is? It's because I have them backwards. I'm realizing. Am I still poisoned? I am still poisoned. Look at me go, getting you a follow. I appreciate you, MV. What do you mean? Elephant, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy to meet you. We're honestly like a vibe here. We kind of play all kinds of games. Not a one to be found. Hello, have you seen any Pokemon here called called Shroomish around here? I really love that Pokemon. Nope, not a single Shroomish. Alright, let's fight these hoes. I should have healed Hoot Hoot. Guys, I should have healed Hoot Hoot. Allie, please don't die. Okay, it's just one Pokemon. Is it a Shroomish? It's a Whalmer. I think we just have to fully switch out for Ash. Let's just do that. Level 10. Now, if Justin is bad, we got this emote. It's so funny. And now I'm trapped in this. Here, let's absorb. Oh no. Ash. Oh my god. What just happened? What just happened? What just happened? What just happened? Um, are we about to wipe? Wait a second. Not us with 2 deaths off rip. I was not ready for this. I'm literally one shot. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna count those deaths because I did not know what I was getting myself into. Like losing my starter? I'm not gonna count that. We already bent the rules once. I'm not counting it. I'm not counting it. I don't care. I feel bad. No. No, 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 no. This is just not cute. I'm already cheating. I already got all these gift Pokemon. Alright, you know what? I think that's a good sign. This is where we need to end. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Right? Are we all in agreement that never happened? It wasn't just recorded? I'm gonna say once we're in Rustboro is when the death starts, okay? That was just a little taste. I was not ready for that. We're gonna do a little save here. Alright, let's save this file. Save games. Wait, how do I save? Save state. Save state file. Quick save. Oh, quick save. Let's do that. Save state 1. Okay, and then save games. Load. I think that's it. Nina. Quick save. Save recent. Save state 1 saved. Okay. Alright, this is where we go. This is it. I kid. Never happened, not like I clipped it. No, please! What beef you got with that bridge? I don't know. I can't cross this bridge for shit. Alright, guys. That is it for me today. Thank you for all for coming in. We started our Nuzlocke. It's harder than I anticipated. But we have tons of Pokemon already because of all the cheats that come with this ROM hack. And I'm gonna fix the PokeLink overlay to work in my favor. Not having a Lapras back there is criminal. I know, I need a little fluffy Lapras. Look at all my guys though. 2 Cyndaquils, 1 from Japan. This guy's from Japan. No, thank you all for being here. Stream is so much fun when you guys are here, and I'm so happy we got to start this Nuzlocke. I've been trying to start this for a while, so it's great that we're getting the show going. Um, we'll be live tomorrow at 8 p.m. doing DBD, probably with some homies, it seems like. So hopefully having some homies to play with would be a lot of fun. Maybe we can get on a call and just like yap and have a good time. Let's see who's on right now to raid. Ryan's on. Oh, Ryan's on. Wait, we should raid Ryan. We should raid our boy. Not playing Marvel Rivals, by the way. Playing Final Fantasy. Yeah, let's go raid Ryan. Let's go hang out with Ryan for a little bit. I'm raiding and running. I have work later, so I have to get some food in me. And yeah, I will be live tomorrow at 8 p.m. Thank you guys for always being in stream. Stream is always fun when I get to hang out with you guys. I love streaming because all of my friends on the internet come here and hang out with me, and you guys literally make stream great. Um, I hope everyone has a great rest of your Saturday. Everyone stay hydrated, stay safe, and yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. And we'll keep going with this Nuzlocke. Like I'm excited. We have it downloaded. It's working. You know what I mean? So there's gonna be tons more of it. Bye Star, bye Envy, bye Elephant. Thank you guys for being here. So great to meet you, Elephant. Thank you for the follow, Mimic for the raid, Peter for being here so early, Ronathan, and all the friends. Everyone, Ryan's also gonna be in a Marvel Rivals tournament. So if you're into Marvel Rivals, that's what they're streaming today. Um, yeah, and I'll see you all on the flip side. I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.